We just saw the Boxtrolls, and on this show I take my friends out, we go see a movie, we have a review in the car, the review spoiler free, and then we have a discussion. The discussion gets into spoilers. So if you're on the fence, try to decide if this is a movie for you, watch the first half. If you've already seen the movie or don't care about spoilers and just want to know everything we think, go ahead and watch the whole thing. I wanted to like this movie. I liked the trailers looked promising, and the casting looked promising. Everything about it looked good from what I saw. But it is not good. It's very sparsely written. There's not a whole lot of humor in it. There's not a whole lot of jokes. Really, it goes for gross out gags more than anything else, as far as that side of things go. I didn't find it particularly funny, and I was really kind of bored. It was kind of a tough sit to get all the way through it. We were also in a theater with, I don't know, maybe half a dozen kids. This is, Thursday night, and we're seeing this, and one kid laughed at one thing that happened, and that was really about it. And that was almost like a nervous response sort of thing. It's not like an uncomfortable movie to watch, but it just doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of idles in one position the whole time. The storyline just sort of, like, the trailer gives you as much exposition as the movie gives you, and there's just hats and cheese and trolls, and it's lame. What'd you think?
I kind of had to agree with you, and I wanted to start watching the movie, and as they're doing the opening scenes before anything actually happens, I was thinking that it's really cool to see a stop motion animation movie in 2014, late 2014 like this, and just because we came up seeing claymation and things like that were very organic, and this had some CGI and some cool lighting, but it's also in high definition, and so it was I haven't seen this medium in a while. I haven't seen a movie that's been made like this for a long time. Mm-hmm. But the whole time, immediately in the movie, you're exposed to the villain, and it's okay, this is the villain, this is the bad guy. And immediately after that, it's here are the Boxtrolls. These, of course, are the good guys. And the pendulum just swings back and forth throughout the entire movie of, perilous situations, and then the escape from the perilous situation, and everything's lighthearted and funny and okay again. And then, here comes the bad guy again. And it's, again, like you mentioned, there were children there, and they didn't really seem particularly sympathetic to the good guys or scared of the bad guy, even though I thought that the movie did get pretty dark, even with the good guys. There's a girl in the movie that is kind of the female heroine lead, who says some pretty morbid stuff at different points in the movie. But yeah, all in all, I yawned a lot. I didn't realize how long of a day I had until about 10 or 15 minutes into this movie, and then I was like, wow, this is maybe an 80 or 90 minute movie that's going to feel like 3 hours, because everything that's going to happen within the first 2 minutes. It's just that swinging pendulum back and forth, and then eventually the bad guys will lose and the good guys will win. So there's the spoiler.
Yeah. So, that's the basic review. Don't bother. It looks cool. It looks, the art direction's great. Maybe when it comes out on home video, it'd be something nice to put on with the sound off even, and just kind of look at it, or play it at a party or something. I don't know.
It seems like the type of movie that you'd put on for the kids while they're playing in the living room, and it's sort of on in the background. Yeah. They're occasionally looking over their shoulder oh yeah, there's a movie on. But face on, it's a bit.
You're right about it swinging back and forth. It felt like a bunch of a really predictable 15-minute cartoon show that just got 20 episodes smashed together, and they made this movie out of it. As far as the spoiler version, so if you're going to go see this, if for some reason we haven't turned you off of the movie by now, stop watching if you're going to go see it. So yeah, they make the villain. The villain's played by Ben Kingsley, and he's probably the best written of all the characters. He has the most to do. He has the motivation. He's almost the protagonist of the movie, which is weird to say. Like, it's all about him getting what he wants and realizing that that's not all it's cracked up to be. But at the same time, he's the villain, and so they're against him. And
he's got the best face animations, and he gets a song in the movie, and like he does a lot of stuff. But but we're not supposed to like him at all.
And I felt like
have any sympathy for him.
When that song finally came on, it was like, thank God, something is happening. I wish there would have been more songs in the movie, honestly, because they would have, songs are there to fill time like that. Like they take a small amount of story, they give you a little bit of exposition, but and mostly it's just a way to propel the spectacle forward. And instead, it's just like, no, we're gonna, these guys are going to get chased around, and then those guys are going to be fine, and it just goes nowhere and does nothing.
Yeah, just no surprises, no real sense of, peril or, victory or anything like that. It's just, and like you were saying about the song, that reminded me kind of the movie Coraline, because the song in this movie was written by Eric Idle from Monty Python. And it could have been a funnier song. There could have been more songs, like you're saying. But it reminded me of Coraline because there's like one song in that movie that's written by John Linnell from They Might Be Giants. And both of the songs in both movies just seemed like something where it's like, let's get somebody with a pretty big name to write a song in like 3 minutes that we can stick like in a, part of the movie that's, dragging pretty significantly, and that way, we can try and build it up a little bit more. But it's like, it's definitely not like a musical.
Well, and I couldn't understand most of the lyrics that he sang when they did that song either. So that, again, it's just like you're watching stuff happen, and there's nothing to take away from it.
I could, and that was why I was surprised it was written by Eric Idle, because one of the things that I thought as we were sitting there watching this is it's like you were saying, it was almost relief, like, oh, finally there's like a song, there's like something kind of out of the ordinary for this movie happening. And then I was like, it's not a particularly funny song or, a good song or anything like that. And, because it's like a kid's cartoon sort of a movie, you expect it to be humorous or like sing-along or, that type of thing, where, I don't have to mention Frozen or anything like that, but even like the song about Gaston from Beauty and the Beast or something like that. It's just like, a lot of lyrical cleverness that drives the story forward, and humor, and
Yeah, I mean, everything about this movie is underwritten. And
it's very forgettable.
The funniest, to me, what I found to be the funniest part of the movie was Richard Ayoade's character. I think it was Mr. Pickles, one of the henchmen, and he's having this crisis of, we're the good guys, aren't we? Yeah. We're the good guys. We're vanquishing evil.
That seems to be the kind of moral thing with the movie, where it's like, where is the line between good and evil? And, like there are those two characters that, are redeemed in a way, but you don't really care because like we were saying, they don't effectively really set anything up or create any drama or tension or any of that. It's just everything just kind of happens.
They're just there to be funny when they're on screen, and they're instantly forgotten when they're not on screen. But what I was going to say about Richard Ayoade is that if you know who he is, and you can sort of like, this is a really bad thing to say about a movie that's this visually appealing and interesting, but it's like if you close your eyes and imagine Richard Ayoade saying those things, it's much funnier than the way that they're presenting the things that he's saying. Because he has this very understated, very understated British humor thing where he says something that seems really normal, but there's something really funny about it that's in there. And there's a bunch of talent like that was just completely wasted. They gave Tracy Morgan absolutely nothing to do. They give Simon Pegg next to nothing to do. Nick Frost has next to nothing to do.
It was like what I was saying with Eric Idle. It's almost as though they just want to use the names more than the talent.
Right. And the Boxtrolls themselves, because they don't really speak, they just sort of grunt and make noises and things. That doesn't really go anywhere either, so you don't really get a sense of who they are or sense of character out of them. They're largely forgettable in their own movie.
They're like British minions from Despicable Me or something like that. They're just
That's a very good
kind of silent movie type of characters in a talkie.
But they're not even as developed as the minions. Right. Like even the minions have more personality and more like differences between them. Like they have a couple of minions that you like follow most of the movie, and this was more like, there was Fish, and then there's like all the other ones.
Yeah. And
they all have about the same amount of characterization and time. Don't bother. Don't bother. That's the Boxtrolls. If you like the way we do these reviews, please like the review, subscribe, check it out. And also, you can look at all the other movie reviews we do at dalemaxfield.com, both written and on video. So thanks for watching.